Welcome back. This is something I should have covered a long time ago because if you do any maintenance, rotate your tires, etc., like everyone should, you probably run into this. Whether it was brakes, tire rotation, just trying to access something behind here, there's a good chance you ran into this. I have all the lug nuts off of this wheel on this 4Runner. However, it does not want to move. Now, the reason is the back side of the wheel, not the rim, some might call it the rim, but the back side of the wheel, the flat mating surface, has adhered to, through a little bit of corrosion, sealed itself against the rotor that is behind there, the brake rotor. And this can happen on just as easily, and sometimes in worse cases, on vehicles that have drum brakes, usually in the rear, such as a 3rd gen Tacoma, like many of y'all own. The drum brake has even more surface area than the rotor to adhere to the back of that wheel. And once they adhere, again through corrosion, whether you live in a salt state or not, it's really tough to get loose sometimes. So there's a few things you can do. And there's really no simple answer. Now, one thing you want to start with always is going to be some kind of penetrant. So I've got all, you can see here, there are no lug nuts off, and it is not coming off. It'll turn, of course, with the rotor, but it is not coming off. So we're going to use a penetrant, and we're going to get back where the rotor and the wheel mate, and we're going to rotate it. You're going to want a paint safe penetrant, because if you have wheels like this, they're probably painted. Or if you have wheels like this, they are painted. And then you want to shoot it back into all these holes. Now, the reason we want to turn it is to let gravity do its thing. We want that tiny molecular buildup of that penetrant to get between the rotor and the wheel. And we might let that sit there for a long time. We want to be on jack stands for this because we are going to be at times partially under the vehicle. And you never trust a jack with your life, so jack stands. All right, nothing on there. Here's a big boy. So this is a 4x4 chunk of wood. It's just heavy enough to make an impact. I'm going to swing it here and just contact rubber. Aha! Got it. Okay, so big enough piece of wood. You could use a baseball bat, you could use something like that, but let me show you how to prevent this from happening ever again. Okay, for understanding, for a visual, you can actually see, focus, you can actually see the brown corrosion rust, and this 4Runner only has 30-something thousand miles on it, but this rust that is built up and adhered to the back of the wheel. You can also see that it's kind of wet now because of the penetrant I used in the vibration to help it seep in there. But we don't want that to ever happen again. So we're gonna do this. What do you think I'm gonna do next? Ta-da! Yep, you already guessed it. We are going to use, liberally, not conservatively, liberally, a large dose of anti-seize. Anti-seize is the perfect fluid here. It does not run, it does not burn off. It is good to, I believe, 1800 degrees on this standard version. This will never get even a quarter of that hot ever. And we're going to simply put a film of anti-seize right here. if you were trying to change your tire out on the side of the road at night, in the dark, snowing, a velociraptor is running at you at full charge, but your wheel's stuck. Never again. So we're gonna do this from now on our vehicles. You don't have to be artistic like I am. It's just me wanting to. There's no mounds of it here, just a nice thin layer. But we will do this on our vehicles from now on, forever and always, and we will never have this problem. See you next time on Team Oil Drop.